की होगी जो कि फ्रंट फ्लो होगा और यहाँ से हमारा फ्रंट फ्लो होना स्टार्ट होगा जो कि ड्रेन से स्टार्ट होगा। ड्रेन पे भी हम वोल्टेज सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, गेट पे भी वोल्टेज सप्लाई कर रहे हैं। गेट पे पॉजिटिव है, ड्रेन पे भी पॉजिटिव है एज कंपेयर टू सोर्स। तो करंट जो
lecture. Thank you. Okay, good morning, students. Yesterday we have seen drain and transfer characteristics, or we have started actually this one, and we have completed the construction of our MOSFET in the last lecture, right? So anyone, if having any doubt regarding this, you can ask me. I think I have shared the video for explanation of power MOSFET, the construction and working, right? So today we will see the transfer and drain characteristics. Already we have started yesterday the drain and transfer characteristics. Okay, so I'll repeat this topic and then we will start the next one. Okay, so this is actually a drain characteristics. Okay, so this drain characteristics is plot between current ID versus VDS when VGS remains constant. Okay, so VGS is a constant. This VGS initially, if you okay, so if VGS is equal to 0 as per the construction of power MOSFET, if VGS equal to 0, in this particular figure, if you see VGS equal to 0, then the free charge carriers which are present in a P region will not attract towards the plate, right? So that the inversion layer will not form. If inversion layer is not there, then current cannot flow through drain to source. So VGS equal to 0, the drain current ID is also equal to 0. That is shown here. Last one, that is VGST. So here the VGS equal to 0. If you see the pointer of a mouse, you can see where is the VGS equal to 0, right? So if VGS equal to 0, current ID equal to 0. If you increase the value of VGS equal to 1 volt, see the mouse, the VGS equal to plus 1 volt. Okay. If
Like
VGS, if VGS equal to plus 1 volt, what happens in this figure? If VGS equal to 1 volt, the positive charge will develop on metal plate, which will attract the electrons, free electrons, which are basically a minority charge carriers, which are present in this P region and this P region, get attracted towards the metal plate and forms a inversion layer. Inversion layer will form here and here, right? And once inversion layer form, a small amount of current start to flow through that inversion layer. Inversion layer is nothing but a bridge, right? So electrons can travel from N plus, N minus, this inversion layer, then M plus, then source terminal, and then back to the negative terminal of battery. Okay. So as you increase the voltage, if a voltage at gate to source increases, then the current ID also increases, right? So this current ID increases initially, so that region is called as a ohmic region. Then it increases slowly. That region is called as a square root law region, and then it becomes a constant. This region is called as a saturation region, right? So why this happens, we will discuss, or maybe I will show you one video so that you can understand, you can better understand how and why this happens in a MOSFET. But just remember, if VGS increases, the current ID also increases, right? So this region is called as ohmic region. This small region is called square root law region, and this region flat where the current is constant, this region is called as saturation region. So this is the drain characteristics. Then transfer characteristics, in which if this is basically plotted between ID and VGS when VDS is constant, right? So VDS is the voltage between drain and source, that is VDD battery. Once we make it constant, then just increase the value of VGS in a small step, this VGS in a small steps, and plot the current ID. If you see the VGS increases to 1 volt, 2 volt or something, right? The current is 0, ideally 0. This is called as IDSS, right? After this, if you increase the value of VGS, your current increases linearly or exponential, basically, not a linear. It's an exponential increase in a current, right? So what happens exactly? If the VGS is less than VT, then your current through the device is equal to 0, ideally 0, practically very small current flow through the device. And then once your VGS is greater than VT, your current increases exponentially. It means that your device turns on so that the current ID increases. So this will explain with the help of one video. I'll show this video to you. Okay. So the characteristics of these two, how this particular region, one region that is not explained by the video maker, that is called square root law region. So the region between ohmic region, that is this region, ohmic region, and saturation region, if you see there is a region where the current increases, but the rate of change of current is very slow. This region is called as a square root law region. So ohmic region, square root law region, saturation region, and this one is called as a cutoff region, right? So exactly why the saturation is occur, that is explained in this previous video. If you see that if the voltage VDS increases, what happens? The depletion layer at the drain increases, and which will decrease the effective width of a channel so that the current decreases. And after that, at particular value, this value is called basically a pinch off value, where the current become a constant. So that is not shown here, but it's a pinch off value. If you see the mouse cursor on your screen, so this particular region is called as a pinch off region or pinch off voltage. So pinch off voltage nothing but your VDS voltage at which the drain current become a constant. Pinch off voltage is a voltage, or it's a VDS voltage at which the current ID become a constant. this ID become a constant because the effective width of a channel becomes 0, right? Even if you increase the value of VDS, the effective width decreases, right? And but still, as per the video you already seen, there will be a high voltage VDS that will push the electrons from source to drain, so that current continuously flow, but the current is constant, and this region is called as a saturation region. Once your device gets saturates, so after that the current through that device remains constant, right? As you increase the value of VDS, the current remains constant. So this is the graph drain characteristics. Similarly, transfer currents also explained. This is for N channel. P channel, this transfer curve is exactly opposite side, right? Because that time the VGS should be minus. So for P channel, this graph is at negative side, basically in a maybe in region second. So that is about the transfer and drain characteristics. I'll share the same video with you after this lecture, as well as the PPD till whatever we learn today, up to the today. So again, if you're having any problem, any doubts, you can directly send me a WhatsApp message, maybe on my personal number, so that we will discuss on that and we will try to clear your doubts. Okay, so next part is switching characteristics of power MOSFET. Yesterday we have started this one because maybe a less time is remaining. So this drain transfer characteristics video that is not shown yesterday. Now switching characteristics of power MOSFET. So basically power devices are used for switching purpose. So switching characteristics is the most important for any power devices because mainly they are used as a switch. So you should know the turn on time and turn off time of a device. Now this turn on time and turn off time of these power devices will affected by the junction capacitances, right? So junction capacitance means when you connect P and N type semiconductor together, after a short time, that the vicinity of a junction, there will be a no free electrons or free holes, and that region is called as basically a depletion region, right? And if you see P type and N type, both are the semiconductor, right? So that at room temperature there acts as a conductor. So P and N types are separated with a depletion layer, so it forms a capacitance, right? So that capacitance basically त्याला आपण capacitance म्हणतो, but it is basically a depletion region, right? So voltage required to fill that depletion region with a free charge carriers, right? That is called as the charging time of capacitance, that junction capacitance, right? Because P and N junction, when we form, there is a no free electrons or free holes at the vicinity of a junction. So that empty space, you can say, is called as a depletion region. And when we connect voltage to this particular PN junction, some time is required to fill free charge carriers in this depletion region. That time is called as a charging time of that capacitance, right? So charging and discharging time of capacitance will affect the turn on and turn off time of any power devices. Yesterday we have seen this equivalent circuit for turn on process, in which two capacitances CGD, it is a capacitance between a gate and drain, right? So then second one CGS, it is a capacitance between gate and source. If you see this diagram, capacitance between drain and source, sorry, gate and source, and drain and gate, that is a capacitance. So see here, it's a gate terminal and this is your source, right? N type. So capacitance, it means here SiO2 layer is directly given, metal gate, this N plus is also metal, this is a capacitance. This SiO2 layer itself forms a capacitance because gate is a metal plate, N plus is also a conductor. So these N plus and metal plates are separated by SiO2 layer. So this forms a capacitance, right? So capacitance between gate and drain and capacitance between gate and source. That will affect the turn on time of MOSFET. What happens exactly when you apply the source gate voltage VGS? Immediately what happens? The free charge carriers start to accommodate in a vicinity of a junction between gate and source. So feel the free charge carriers. It means that this capacitor start to charge, right? Whenever this capacitor is fully charged, then the voltage will apply at the gate of MOSFET, right? Till the charging time, whatever charging time of this capacitor, that will affect the turn on time of your MOSFET. Similarly, CGD also affect the turn on time of your MOSFET. Right? So turn on time will affect by these two capacitances. See, this is basically a characteristic, sorry, a switching characteristics curve. So if you see here, the first graph, this is VGG, the constant DC voltage is applied here, right? This is actually a battery. Then this is a VGS, the gate to source voltage. If you see here, as you applied VGG, the gate to source voltage, this means the capacitance CGS, that is capacitance between gate and source, start to charge. So this will shows the capacitor charging time. Between this particular time, if you see the current ID is equal to 0, current ID is 0, you just observe the cursor position, the cursor position of mouse cursor. So see here in ID last graph, so ID is 0 because the input capacitance called as a CGS is charging. Whenever the voltage across this capacitor is greater than VT, your device start to conduct. Then current start to increase. So this will shows the current ID increases as your VGS is greater than VT. But till VT, if you see, the current ID is equal to 0, right? So as your voltage is greater than VT, current ID start to increase. Then whenever it is equal to VGS or maybe a max voltage, then your current becomes a constant. This is called basically a saturation. It means that your device is continuously on, right? So this device is continuously on at here at T2. At T0 to T1, if you see in the VTH or VGS graph, T0 to T1, your input capacitance charges. So this is called basically a charging time of that capacitance, during which the current ID is equal to 0, right? After that, when VGS is greater than VT, current ID start to increase, right? Whenever the current ID is max, then you can say your device is completely on. So total time T0 to T1 and T1 to T2 is a turn on time, right? If you see the last graph, that is called VDS, when device is in off state, that time the voltage across drain and source is equal to the VDD, right? Because if switch is off, then whatever voltage you are applying, the voltage across the device remains equal to the applied voltage, right? So if you see here from T0 to T1, the VDS is equal to VDD. Then from T1 to T2, still VDS equal to VDD, because the device is not completely turns on. Current start to increase, but at T2, your device is completely on. So VDS equal to VDD till at T2. Once your device turns on, the voltage across device start to decrease, and it will be a VDS, or maybe called as a on voltage, right? Voltage drop across device, that is on voltage. If you see, one more graph is shown here, that is IG, current IG. Initially, whatever voltage you are applying, that time the current IG is max. As your voltage increases, the current IG equal to 0. Somewhat time it will be negative, right? So VDS is equal to high till your device turns on. After that, the voltage across device decreases, and then it becomes equal to VDS on. That is a device on voltage. So this is the actual turn on of this particular device, so MOSFET. So this turn on time is depends upon two capacitances. this VGS, and this one is a VDG. Sorry, CGD, that is capacitance between drain and gate, and this capacitance between gate and source. So because of these two capacitances, the time required to turn on the device at T2, if you see at T2 your device is turns on, and then voltage across drain start to decrease. So turn on time, turn on delay time, TD on, it is the time required to charge input capacitances to the threshold voltage level. This is the time to charge the input capacitance, that is called CGS and CGD. These two capacitance required to charge up to the threshold level, that is shown here in a particular graph. This one, right? Then second one called as a rise time. This is a rise time where the current start to increase. If you observe the cursor position in your screen, so this will show the rise time. Your current start to increase from 0 to max, right? So this time is called as a rise time. So rise time definition is given here. It is the gate charging time from threshold level to full gate voltage, VGSP, which is required to drive transistor into the linear region. So total T on is equal to TD on plus TR, right? Then turn off process, turn on and turn off process. This is basically the diagram for turn off process, right? But the names I given here is the same. This is basically equivalent diagram for turn off process, and these are the characteristics. Once the gate voltage at T0, if you see the first figure, first graph, that is A, at T0, your input voltage VGG is 0, right? If VGG is 0, what happens? The voltage start to drop. If you see here, the VGS start to drop from maximum VGSP to, sorry, max to VGSP, right? And then it becomes a constant, and then after it will decreases to 0. So basically, whatever the input capacitance is, that will store the energy. Again, I'll explain the same thing, that is a depletion region. If you don't understand what is a depletion region, I have shared one video in my first lecture, so that you can again see second video, right? One and two, though two videos I share. So second video, which is not included in my presentation, but I shared with you. So you can see that video, what is a depletion region and how depletion region forms, right? So depletion region means there is a no free charge carriers. Once the free charge carriers fill in a depletion region, you can say that capacitance is fully charged, right? After that, when you remove the gate voltage, the voltage at a depletion region, or you can say free charge carriers at depletion layer, is still present. So it requires some time to recombine that free charge carriers and then disappear, right? So that time basically called as your turn off time. Okay, so that is shown here. If you see turn off time, it is a time required to discharge input capacitances from overdrive gate voltage to the pinch off region, right? So that is first called as a turn off delay time. So it is a time required to discharge input capacitances from overdrive gate voltage to pinch off voltage. And last, fault time. This is basically a fault time. So fault time is, it is a time required to discharge input capacitances from pinch off region to threshold level. So pinch off region, this is basically called as a fault time, right? And then this is a fault time from this one, pinch off region to threshold voltage. If you see the graph number 2, that is called B, right? So this voltage is called as a, or this time is called as a fault time. The fault time is from T2 to T3, right? Then from T0 to T1, that is your TD or maybe a delay, TD off, TD turn off delay time, right? So that time that is given between T0 to T1, and from T2 to T3, that is called as a fault time, which is basically pinch off voltage. So pinch off to threshold voltage, the time required, that is called basically a fall time. It is a time required to discharge input capacitances from pinch off region to the threshold level. So overall T off is equal to TD off plus TL, T fall, right? Now this is the last part called as a safe operating area. Dear student, I'll share you the videos, then PPTs of the same for your reference, future reference. After this lecture, I'll share a complete PPTs till whatever topics we have covered till today. So last one is a safe operating area. Every device that is maybe a transistor, a diode, or any device having its higher values, operating values like a voltage or current, etc. Right? So you cannot exceed that values, otherwise your device may damage. As like in a BJT, there will be a no thermal breakdown in a power MOSFET or in a MOSFET, but there will be a secondary breakdown in a power MOSFET, right? So we have to operate this device within the given limit by the manufacturer in their data sheet, right? So this IC max is a maximum current, or you can say ID max is a maximum current limit where you can use your device. If you exceed the current ID, then your device may damage, right? Similarly, maximum power. So this will shows as your VDS increases, the power handling capacity decreases, right? As you increase the VDS, see secondary breakdown limits are given. Your device may break down in a secondary breakdown, and these are called as the voltage limits. So if you increase the VDS beyond these voltage limits, then your device may damage, right? So we have to operate, we have to work this device in a safe operating area. So this graph, every manufacturer gives this graph with the values, these values in their data sheets. If you download any one data sheet of a power MOSFET, you will check the value of ID max, then P max, then secondary breakdown voltage, or maybe a maximum voltage limits. Everything is given. So these values we have to consider when we are using power MOSFETs in our circuit. We should not increase the current ID beyond the limit given by the manufacturer, right? So every device, no device is work for any limit or maybe infinite current or infinite voltage, nothing. Every device has its own high voltage and current handling capacities as well as power handling capacities. So we should not exceed the current voltage beyond the value, right? So if we increase the current and voltage beyond that values, then that devices get damaged. So this is called basically a safe operating area. That is given safe operation area of the device provide the current and voltage limits. The device must handle to avoid